What's good, y'all? I'm the Psychedelic Seal, and after much too long, we are finally gearing up for another Pokemon challenge. And you know what it is by the title of the video, but I gotta say, I love Chansey. It's excellent, it's adorable, it's perfect. No, come back. I'm done with the puns. For now. This adorable pink blob is a competitive battling OU beast known for its ungodly HP stat and its great special defense that can stall out the strongest Pokemon. But for all its greatness, it does have two major drawbacks. It has the lowest attack and defense stat of any Pokemon. But Chansey is always carrying an egg. And you know what eggs have? Protein. We are going to build the buffest egg you've ever seen and see if we can beat Pokemon X with only a Chansey and only using physical moves. While the stats may not be there, Chansey does have a decent physical move pool, learning Double Edge naturally and having access to Brick Break, Power Up Punch, Earthquake, and Rock Slide. Its access to self-healing and Refresh and Soft Boil will definitely come in handy if someone tries to make an omelet out of us. So let's go to the rules. I can only use Chansey in battle and only physically attacking moves. Other Pokemon are fine for HMs though. I will be able to use moves like Toxic that would cause damage over time, since that'll just turn into a stall fest. Although TMs can be used multiple times in Gen 6, we are playing with old school rules, and I can only use them once on my Chansey. No glitches or exploits. This includes battle affecting O powers, no items in battle, and finally, for added spice, I can only use each Pokecenter or healing NPC once during my playthrough. Let's go get it. I wake up and notice 3 whole dimensions in a Pokemon game. I head north to Aquacore Town and meet my gaggle of friends who clearly recognize my status and dub me Mama Hen. I pick Froakie as our starter so our main rival has Chestnut, who will have super effective moves against us. It will forever be known as Le Frog Legs. To get my beautiful egg into X, I used a program called PkHex to import a Chansey to my save file. This offers a lot more fine customization than the universal Pokemon randomizer, so I select an adamant nature, boosting attack and decreasing special attack. The IVs were chosen using a random number generator in the application, so it's effectively the same as resetting for an adamant nature one. Up on the screen are the IVs that were bestowed upon me. I do place it in a luxury ball. This is just to speed things up here in a few minutes. She doesn't need a nickname because she is perfect just the way she is. To populate the current and relearn moves, I use the one suggested by the app, meaning we will have to wait until level 54 to get the ace move Double Edge. Finally, I select its ability as Serene Grace, which doubles the chance of a move's secondary effect occurring in battle. I do have to give credit to ZDS Zodyrus, who created a video guide on how to use the PkHex app. That link will be down in the description if you want to mess around with it too. We have the Pink Destroyer of Worlds, and it's time to Super Train. This is a feature added in Gen 6 that allows us to quickly train our Pokemon EVs, boosting the stats we want to focus on. A quick explanation of this mechanic is that for every 4 DVs we get in a stat, we get an extra point for that stat. So, if we max out our Chansey's attack, we will get an extra 63 points of attack over the playthrough, which is massive. After super training for about half an hour at 2 times speed because I'm a pro gamer like that, I have maxed out our attack stat and put a few into defense as well, since that will also be a significant weak point we have to overcome. I have a feeling we might need to reset the EVs later to max out attack and speed, but we'll see. After over an hour of prep, I go into our first battle and slap the sin out of Shauna's Fennekin. I say goodbye to my pet rock, feed my beautiful Chansey cake, and our journey begins. First, on Route 2, I capture a team of Rodents for their pickup ability, just in case I need rare candies later on. We have Labbit, Dabbit, Babbit, and Rabbit. When we are in the Santaloon Forest, Shauna can heal you. So I expend all of my pound power points to get to level 10 so we can take advantage of this temporary heal spot. Also, I play around with Pokemon and me to get my Chansey to 2 hearts, which will boost her experience gained by 20%. It loves it when I rub the egg. We get to Santaloon City, get the roller skates, learn Double Slap, and arrive at the gym leader Viola at level 13. In our first attempt, I used Defense Curl a couple times to increase durability and take out the Surskit without too much trouble. However, her Vivillon uses Infestation, which causes passive damage, gradually whittling Chansey down. We almost get it down to red, but she uses a potion and we are barely stalled out. If I can bait that potion out on the Surskit, we should be good. Next time we do just that, killing the Water Walker while Viola uses her potion. She uses Harden to buff her defenses, but Chansey slaps Gen 6's Butterfree enough to nab us the bug badge with a little strategy. Before we head into Lumio City, I get the TM for return, which is going to be our main stab move until Chansey learns Double Edge. This move is also why I put Chansey in a Luxury Ball, so we can rack up friendship quickly and increase return's power. Oh oui in Paris. I meet the handsome young devil Sycamore and he challenges us to a Pokemon battle. Since we do automatically heal after this battle, I go back to the route before to expend all the PP we don't need and raise our level even more. Now this fight is normally not a problem, but Bulbasaur does have Leech Seed, which will heal more than what we can damage. Thankfully it misses, and we take out the other Kanto starters in short order. I pick Squirtle because it is objectively the best. I dub thee Sharkbait. Oohaha. Before we leave the central hub of the Kalos region, we see angry Ed Sheeran, who in no way is going to be the main antagonist of the story. I also head over to the Pokemon Center to get the TM for Bulldoze, a ground type move that is guaranteed to lower the target's speed. I shred some serious gnar, and come across a mandatory double battle. So, as to not affect the outcome in my favor, I just have my Toad slap Chansey real light-like. I do an Irish jig on a crab, and now we must go castling. We get my oh so favorite money-making item. The cheese from the Fire Red No Center run still sits in my fridge, waiting to be enjoyed again. We enjoy the garden. Oh, I feel so posh. I save a Poodle that could body slam your ass into oblivion, and Shauna tries to get a little fresh with Mama Hen. I watch an elegant fireworks show that caused the Furfrou we just saved to piss on the imported carpet in the foyer. Once we get in Amber Town, I pick up the TM for Rock Smash, which is actually really useful for Chansey. Her Serene Grace ability means that it has a 100% chance to lower the target's defense. I ride a Pokemon. Don't even act like this wasn't awesome the first time you played Gen 6. The glittering cave in this game is amazing. The ambience is perfect and it's twisty and turny and it feels like you could get lost so easy. I really wish more Pokemon caves were like this, just getting more and more elaborate and easier to get lost. It really ups the adventure aspect. We meet Vogass Team Flare, and it's time for our neighbor and I to douse them in a double battle. But I get rocked by Scraggy and my concerns about the fighting types in this game were 100% founded. And I had not saved this entire session, so I'm all the way back at Route 5. Damn it! After getting back to the same point, I save and am able to defeat them after a couple tries. We get the Sail Fossil. Is this one still good for the algorithm? Chansey also learns Rock Smash over Double Slap. So, to try to get some extra experience, I face this hiker right before the gym leader Grant. And high defense Pokemon are a real problem even with Rock Smash. I could not defeat his Rhyhorn since Rock Tomb would lower our speed and our frail defense means we would always be on our back foot even with Soft Boiled. So naturally I just go right to the gym leader to see what happens. Yeah, it's not happening. Amora will always paralyze us the very first turn and usually use Takedown, which absolutely destroys us. I'm gonna expend all my power points in the previous area, heal up at the Amber and Pokecenter, and see where that gets us. After defeating all the trainers since connecting Cave, we are level 25 and we try again with another strategy. I do quote unquote win with a double down, but if I didn't have my pickup rats in the party, we would have lost, so we gotta do it again. I go back to train more since there will be another really difficult battle coming up soon, and even if I get lucky with Grant, I'll need to train anyways. Later, at level 31, I do learn Sing, which could help us with the next two gyms. And now we have the power of the good old-fashioned cheese made by yours truly. And afterwards, my PC decided to crash and I almost lost my freaking mind. Thankfully, I didn't lose the 3 hours of footage from this session, but for some reason, even though I had made save since, the emulator booted me back to before I grinded. So I have to do all of that again. this run may be cursed. Even with Sing, this fight is so annoying. The amount of times Mora woke up after only one turn to instantly paralyze me, or the fact Tyrant regularly gets flinches to KO me. I know I could have kept soft-boiled and probably made the Tyrant easier, but I still think for the immediate future, Pound will be more useful. After God knows how many attempts, we go into the battle holding the Rocky Helmet, which will damage the opponent 1/6 of their health if they make contact with us. I open with Sing, connecting and putting Amora to sleep so it doesn't paralyze us. Chansey takes it out in 2 Rock Smashes. With the Tyrant, I spam Rock Smashes, not getting flinched on the first bite, but still having our speed lowered by Rock Tomb. He uses a Hyper Potion to get it back to full health, but we are only at 40% and will be outsped. But Chansey survives the next bite, doesn't flinch, and the damage from our Rock Smash, plus the damage from the Rocky Helmet, means we can finally get the Cliff Badge. The trainers north of Sillage Town are pretty easy since we are over-leveled and our Rocky Helmet does even more damage, but we do take the heal at the Sillage Pokemon Center after running out of PP. Once we get to Geosage Town, we enter the part of the run I knew we would have the most problems with. Or so I thought when I had the idea for this video. To leave this area, we have to battle the next gym leader Karina in a friendly, but she has 2 level 25 Lucarios that outspeed us and have power-up punch. I decided to do a scouting battle at level 33 and this ain't happening right now. At most, we could only tank 3 hits. So I take time to grind a bit, expending all the power points for Pound before I teach Chansey Bulldoze over it. In a dumb legit try at level 35, I forgot to heal and went right into it, but did find that 2 Bulldozes and the Rocky Helmet damage KOs the Lucario. Let's try again and not be a jackass about it. And Bulldoze was most definitely the ticket. On the first Lucario, a single speed drop means that our Chansey goes first and Power Up Punch does under half. The second follows the same script and that was a surprisingly easy battle. She is the next gym leader we have to face though, and that team is much tougher. We aren't out of the woods yet. And then I forget to heal, got immediately rocked by a Mienfoo on the next trainer and had to do the Karina fight again. God, really need to be better. After perishing to this Mienfoo a few times, I just skip the trainer. But try my hand at another fighting trainer in Reflection Cave and this throw doesn't go any better. The fighting gym is going to be a real pain without some luck. Side note, the caves in this game are freaking beautiful, man. They are a legit escape from the above ground world with this atmosphere. But once we get to Shallor City, I get the most important thing in this entire run, the Eviolite, which takes Chansey from a soft quail egg to a tough as nails OU ostrich egg. It boosts both defense and special defense by 50%, meaning that on the special side, nothing will be able to really touch her, and on the physical side, she should be able to survive at least 1 or 2 more hits that might ordinarily KO. And it's time for side stories and to learn more about the gimmick of this game, Mega Evolution. Yo, you see the eyebrows on this guy? We have our first battle against our main rival Serena here. She opens with a special attacking Meowstic and its disarming voice does literally 4 damage to our Chansey. Her Absol is able to do a little more with a critical slash, but 2 super effective Rock Smashes take it out. And her starter Qualadin actually doesn't have a fighting type move yet. Which thank God, because it takes 3 hits to knock him out, meaning we survive with just 16 HP. The Eviolite was definitely needed there, and I don't think we will be able to beat the fighting gym for at least 5 to 10 more levels. While I grind and get up to level 42, I use the NPC heal in Reflection Cave. I think we might stand a chance against the gym trainers at this level, and my hopes were actually reinforced, as I took out all 3 of this Roller Kid's Pokemon, surviving with just a sliver of health. Once we get to the gym leader Karina, her lead Mienfoo is barely out of 1-shot range and her Hawlucha is just out of 2-shot range. But there are some positives as Chansey can take a Hone Claw boosted Flying Press and still live. I think 2 levels more and we will be able to beat her. I go break some hearts and use 2 rare candies to get Chansey up to level 46. After a few tries, we open with an awesome critical hit return, taking out the Mienfoo after it does some chip damage with Fake Out. The Hawlucha goes for the power-up punch, boosting its attack, while we bring it down to just below half. It will probably be a range. but I get immensely lucky and dodge the boosted flying press, just a 5% chance. It lives with a sliver, and Corinna heals up. Chansey isn't able to dodge a second one and gets brought down to about 25%, but she hits the range and takes out the luchador. Finally, she does a great amount of damage to her Machoke, but it does lower Chansey's speed with a rock tomb. But she's still too quick. She outspeeds and lands the finishing blow, netting us the Rumble badge in a close battle. I'm also gifted the TM for Power Up Punch, replacing Rock Smash as our fighting type setup move. After the gym, we head to the Tower of Mastery to learn more about Mega Evolution and have another battle with Corinna, but I cannot use my Chansey. Forced to use the Lucario. But Lucario does not have an egg, therefore it is inferior, no matter how mega. After a pitiful Power Up Punch, I let it perish, and apparently, we don't have to win this battle or take Lucario. Run's still alive! Before I leave Chalor, I go ahead and use the Pokecenter to refill my power points and then head east. I do, however, take Lapras, a beautiful descendant of our dear Pleasy. I present Pleasy 2 Electric Boogaloo. Once we arrive in Coumarine City, I receive the Lucky Egg, an appropriate item for our adorable omelet. When I don't use Eviolite, I can go ahead and equip this to make the grind a little bit more tolerable. Before we can get to the Grass Gym, we have another face-off with our rival that honestly doesn't need a play-by-play. It went the same as the one a few minutes ago, and Chansey won easily despite not even going into it with full health. All the trainers inside the gym follow Serena's lead, posing literally no threat. She is their god now. This is their round pink hell. Also, I absolutely love the atmosphere and camera work in this game. The mechanics of swinging on the vines, the falling leaves, the camera changing angle and zooming in when we get to the leader is all just so awesome. This game made the transition to 3D so well. Ramos the gym leader is straight free. With Eviolite and our level already being 50, Chansey is able to two-shot the Jumpluff with Return. Do the same with his Ace Go-Goat while also boosting our attack with Power Up Punch, and then unleashes one round of fire and fury on the Weepinbell. Zip zap zop, plant badge is got. I didn't realize just how much XP you get in this game. For now, I'm not going to use the Lucky Egg at all since we are already over-leveled. I also upscaled the graphics in Citra between sessions. You and I are both welcome. Look how pretty it is. Go check out my regional rat only playthrough of the ROM hack Eternal X being uploaded on the channel now if you want to see just how pretty this game can get. And man, do we keep trucking on. We take care of the power plant Team Flare troop easily, although I did have to use 2 ethers to make it through. At the end, Chansey is level 54 and learns Double Edge, and with her insane HP basically negating the recoil damage, this might be a little broken. After using 2 PP ups to max out its usage, we have 21 uses of a 120 base power stab move. We also get a very well-timed auto heal from these 2 people whose names I can't remember. That white suit the admins wear is fly as hell though. We see this absolute unit that reminds me of Steven Tyler. And as we arrive back in Lumio City, Prism Tower lights up and Shauna is still trying to be fresh with Mama Hen. And in the gym, we play an old school anime Who's That Pokemon game. It's fucking Pikachu! The electric gym leader Clement does not break our streak of simple fights either. Since most of their move pool hits on the special side, they can barely scratch Chansey. The Emolga static did paralyze, but the newly acquired Double Edge puts him in heal range, then gets the crit next turn for good measure. A couple bulldozes on Magneton and a single Double Edge on his ace Heliolisk, and that's all she wrote. Chansey doesn't even go into yellow health before Double Edge recoil. Voltage badge in hand, we got 3 more gyms to go. Before we leave Lumios, we have some more plot to get through though. We meet Lysander and Sycamore at the Former's Cafe, and Sycamore is ooh-ooing a bit too much. Subtlety is the name of the game, my dude. The gang goes into a spooky house. I should play a horror game for the channel. I get some fresh new duds. That cost 40,000 goddamn buckaroos. Hansel is so hot right now. In the Lavere gym, I can go right to the gym leader Valerie without battling any trainers. And unsurprisingly, our Chansey is going to make sure this is no fairy tale for her. Since her Mawile can't do much to us, I stack up 3 attack boosts before bulldozing it. With these buffs, Mr. Mime is a one-shot even after it sets up a Reflect, and 2 Double Edges finish off the new evolution. After a tumultuous first 3 badges, we rattled off the next 3 like it was nothing. But we're still not done yet. I knew the mid-game would be easy, but we have a few more unexpected brick walls to contend with. We roll through the Pokeball factory without any issue, but I do have another moment where I realize how much I love the atmosphere and settings in this game. The factory feels like what Silphco and the Game Corner wanted to be in the original Gen 1 games. As I continue on and get to Frost Cavern, I run into one of those brick walls I was just talking about. Since nearly everyone in this cavern has either Steel, Rock, or most detrimentally, Fighting types. While our Eviolite does a lot, Chansey still can't output enough damage to counter these mid-40s fully evolved Pokemon. Time to backtrack and grind a little bit since I just can't get past either of the trainer. But I'm doing well on my Pokecenter use right now, so I have plenty of opportunities to go back, beat some trainers, heal up, and try again. After taking out everyone on routes 14 and 15 and the Lost Hotel, and taking a heal in Laver City, I head back to the Frost Cavern at level 62. Since I actually won this double battle while our sweet Plessie made it rain, we can skip past the other 2 single battles we were struggling with earlier. Perfecto. But then I fell down a hill, so I have to face them anyways. After about 15 minutes of attempts, that damn Scrafty finally missed a high jump kick, and I was able to go deep, so deep into the cave, and free the beautiful snow tree from an unfortunate flare-up. After moonwalking on a Mamoswine, we have another fight with Serena before gaining access to the 7th gym. She is a little tougher this time though. Her starter is fully evolved and has super effective moves against us. But after opening up with a critical return on Meowstic, I'm able to stack 3 power punches before her next Pokemon, which allows me to 2-shot the Chestnut, but not before it can get a critical Seed Bomb off on me. Vaporeon and Absol are both one-shots with Double Edge, but the recoil almost takes Chansey out, tanking it with just 6 HP. She heals our Pokemon after the bout and we head into the gym. Since the Psychic Gym Leader only has special attacking moves other than Fake Out, we are actually going to ditch the Eviolite for this fight. Instead, I'm going to roll with the Metronome, an item that will boost the power of a move if you use it consecutively. I'll spam Double Edge to see what happens. And my god, does it really work. Sigilyph opens with Reflect, but it really doesn't matter. It goes down in 3 Double Edges and can barely do 100 damage even with recoil. Slowking uses Yawn, but Double Edge's growing power has us take it out before it can even attack Chansey and before she falls asleep. Her ace Meowstic has no answer either. Once Chansey wakes up, she sends it to the frickin' moon with a single 240 base power stab Double Edge. Wear that psychic badge proud, Chansey. After the gym, we learn that Ed Sheeran is trying to destroy the Shape of You with the ultimate weapon, and that we must save the world. In the meantime, I used the Master Ball to catch a Delibird because it only felt right with all the Christmas cheer that was filling my heart. In my first fight with the leader of Team Flare, we get lucky since the Mienfoo tries to set up using Swords Dance instead of going for the high jump kick, allowing us to set up a power-up punch and knock it out with Return. Against his Gyarados, Chansey's attack gets lowered, but 2 Double Edges are still enough to take it out, thanks to the power-up punch from earlier. I set up a little bit more on the Pyroar before taking it out, and then 1 Double Edge against the Murkrow was all that Chansey needed. After we completely obliterate all of the Team Flare scientists with no issue, we learn a long story of a man, a Pokemon, and love. A genocidal love, but love nonetheless. Before taking on Team Flare one last time, I go ahead and take the heal in Central Lumiose to restore our PP. We have 2 tough fights ahead of us with Lysander, who leads with a fighting type with high jump kick, a Gyarados that megas and lowers our attack with Intimidate, and a physically attacking Honchkrow. And I don't have time to level up too much because right away I find myself in one of those battles. So, in the first fight, I know that Mienshao is going to open up with Swords Dance and outspeed us, so I use Bulldoze, lowering its speed so Chansey can return it and go into Gyarados with full health. From there, it's a war of attrition with Double Edge and Aqua Tail. After 3 hits, it goes down. Since the Pyroar only has special attacks, I stack up Power Punches while I can tank hits to guarantee Honchkrow is a one-hit KO. which it is with Return, handing me a very narrow victory. With that close victory, and knowing he is about to come back stronger, I go ahead and equip the Lucky Egg to try to give me some extra buffer. By doing this, we're able to get all the way up to level 75 before I must face off with the mystical life Pokemon, the Rainbow Poplar Tree known as Zodyrus, which at first I try to run away from. But then I have a staring contest with it for a while, so I defeated it instead, and the dumb tree is still just looking at me like a deer in headlights. Yeah, I guess that's appropriate. And I just catch it in a normal Pokeball? Seriously? I remember going through like 50 separate Ultra Balls to try to catch Kyogre back in Sapphire, and now that's all you have to do to get a Legendary? Jesus Christ, man. And we finally get to the last Lysander fight, the one I was dreading. And this dude is a joke. Despite the fact I am forced to start with Worthless and will have to switch into Chansey, Mienshao goes for Acrobatics and then Swords Dance rather than a super effective move. I use the same strategy of Bulldoze and Return and take it out easily. Next, he foolishly sends out Pyroar, which I just used to stack up 3 power-up punches, knocking it out. Deciding that's not enough, and since I want to smite him for his foolishness, I use another power-up punch on Honchkrow, meaning my attack will be at +3 after his Ace's Intimidate. Another Return takes out the bird, and then it's time for his Mega. And we completely wreck it with a critical hit Double Edge. What a loser. And that's it, back to being a kid. When we arrive in Kuroe Town, Sycamore challenges me to another battle, but the 3 Kanto starters simply quake at my pink blob. Once we get to the bridge on Route 19, our friends appear from nowhere and decide to battle. While I'm able to get through Shauna with no real issue, 2 of her Pokemon do hit crits, meaning that once I get to Tierno's Crawdaunt, I can't take it out in one turn and Chansey falls to Crabhammer. Second try doesn't go much better since Roserade's Poison Point hits Chansey hard. I'm gonna approach this a little differently. Since Return is at least neutral effective against all 6 of their Pokemon, I'm going to throw on the Metronome to see if that causes some one-hits to happen. So initially it doesn't make a huge difference against Shauna, since Chansey still can't one-hit the Goodra, but against Tierno we might have been able to do it, but Talonflame's Flame Body gets us. After a few more attempts, it looks like there was no might to that previous statement. Talonflame always hits too hard and always goes for Acrobatics. Back to the Eviolite. I think we can get this, but it is honestly just a crapshoot whether or not Flame Body or Poison Point kills us. So again, I switch strategies. I go catch a Love Disc so I can get a Heart Scale, then I Boogaloo down to the Dendemil move reminder. There, I relearn Soft Boil over Return. I also teach Rock Tomb over Bulldoze since we don't need a ground type move again before we get Earthquake later on. And that combo is the ticket. Not only is the Rock move 4 times effective against his Talonflame, but it also does not make direct contact with the target, meaning we won't activate Flame Body. And although it isn't the hardest hitting move against his Roserade, it won't activate Poison Point either. So, Chansey gradually chips away while using Soft Boil to refill health and is able to get through his Crawdaunt as well. But we do have to fight Trevor right after, although he does heal our party before. Those contact moves screw me over again, as I go ahead and get paralyzed from attacking Raichu while his Aerodactyl makes Humpty Dumpty have a great fall, again, and again, and again, as I hit myself in confusion, again, and again, and again. Next time we still get paralyzed when Raichu nuzzles up to us, but Trevor doesn't get that cheese, and we obliterate his Aerodactyl. Thank God that's over. That series of fights took like an hour to finish. We roll through the Snowbell Gym Trainers with no real issue. The combo of Power Up Punch then Rock Tomb is putting in a silly amount of work. That coupled with the healing from Soft Boiled honestly makes my cute Chansey a total frickin' monster. I do go get a PowerPoint refill from the Snowbell Pokecenter before we take on Wolfric. By that time we are level 80. Jesus, this game juices you with experience. And we have an insane first battle against Wolfric. His Abomasnow and Hail gradually chips away at our health as Chansey spams out power-up punches to get her attack to +5. The Cryogonal goes down to a single power-up punch, but does confuse Chansey and we are at maximum power for his Ace Avalugg, a brute with 184 base defense. I hit myself in confusion twice, unable to get off any damage before I need to heal with soft boiled. Wolfert takes this time to set up curses, making his iceberg even tougher to take down. We can barely put a dent in it as it sets up 4 curses and obliterates us with a single avalanche. Good lord. On the second go, we have to tap dance with his first 2 mons a little more and are at +5 attack, but Chansey isn't confused. It starts to set up and gets passive healing with its Ice Body ability as I send off a flurry of rock tombs. Chansey gets it down to what I imagine would normally be heal range, but his Ice Body takes effect and gets him out of that range, allowing us to land 1 more rock tomb, winning the battle with just 1/10 of our health. And like that, we have all 8 gym badges and we are ready to take on the Pokemon League. I trek through Victory Road, trying to avoid trainers if I can, since our level is doing pretty damn good and I think we can get through most of the Elite Four before level 90. I do go ahead and take the heal halfway up for PP restoring. Right after that heal, we have to face Serena one last time and her starter ain't playing around this time. Her Chestnut cracks a couple eggs with Brick Break and Chansey can't do enough damage to 2-shot it. So on the second try, I actually power up Punch Meowstic, because although it does pitiful damage, it can hardly do any damage back. I stack up 4 before Chansey starts her rampage. Chestnut dies to a single double edge, as does Vaporeon. Her Altaria survives a Rock Tomb, but we take it out the next turn all the same. Her last Pokemon Absol actually outspeeds us and lands a critical hit Night Slash, bringing us down to 59 health. We already selected Double Edge, and after the recoil, Chansey survives with just 7 HP. Veteran Gerard here absolutely brick walls me though. His Bayonet will always paralyze us and we cannot one-shot it. The Leafeon afterwards usually does Swords Dance then Leaf Blade, taking us down with ease. I have to do 2 things to get past this dude. First, I need to 2-shot the Bayonet and the Leafeon. Second, I need to get a Cherry Berry to heal our paralysis in battle. From the man in Camphor Town, I'm able to do the latter. With running through Victory Road again and using the 3 rare candies we've picked up, Chansey is now at level 88, but she still cannot 2-hit this Bayonet. Oh no. I did some calculations and she would need to be around level 95 to 2-hit the Bayonet consistently. Moreover, since the Leafeon has base 130 defense and 110 attack, she would have to be even higher to 2-hit it with Double Edge. Time to shift strategies again. I catch another Love Disc for a Heart Scale to relearn Refresh, so we can cure the paralysis, and the first time it finally works, thank God. You might have seen that we also dropped Rock Tomb in favor of Earthquake, a move that is about to put in work against the Elite Four. Our success is short-lived however, since the next mandatory trainer has a Trevenant that will always place a curse upon me and will usually use Will-O-Wisp. So I need to go back to the move relearner for Soft Boil. I can barely do any damage against it, but Chansey needs each move she knows right now for the Elite Four, and we can't use TMs twice. After lots of chip damage and finally defeating the other trainers, we are finally at the Elite Four. I thought this Victory Road would take me like 20 minutes. After 2 hours of recording at 2x speed, we're finally here. I heal up, use 3 rare candies again, and Chansey's at level 89. Here are our stats. Our attack isn't even 100, but what concerns me way more is our sub 50 defense. We might have to re-EV train to beat the Elite Four, but I'm gonna give this a shot. First up is Wickstrom, the Steel-type Knight. He leads with a Cleft Key, which I use to boost Chansey's attack before knocking it out with an Earthquake. And then, he sends out his Aegislash, which can absolutely kill this run with the Fighting-type Sacred Sword move and its base 150 attack and defense, depending on its form. The Cleft Key tormented Chansey, meaning we can't use Earthquake to do chip damage. Instead, I scout by using Double Edge, waiting for him to lower his defenses. He finally strikes, dealing more than half damage, but Chansey was simply stalking its prey. It does not fortify and she knocks it out with a single Earthquake. I use a special attacking Probopass to heal and up Chansey's attack one more time before taking out the Scizor with a punch and one more Earthquake. Second is the water type trainer Seabold. Seabold? Whatever. His lead Clawitzer can barely do 100 damage with a crit Aura Sphere, so I take the opportunity to stack up 4 attack boosts before one-shotting it at full health with a double edge. From there, he can do nothing to stop the onslaught. The rest of his team is knocked out in a single shot each. Since Chansey doesn't need a fighting type move anymore, I go ahead and replace Power Up Punch with Rock Slide and head into Malva's room surrounded by fire. Pyroar goes down to a 1-2 combo of Earthquake and Rock Slide. But her ace Talonflame only has attacking moves that deal recoil damage. So I take Chansey's high HP and low defense to our advantage, using Soft Boiled while it brings itself to under half. A single Rock Slide nests the Firebird. Her Torkoal is bulky and can't do enough damage, so Chansey wins the stall off eventually. Her Chandelure only delays the inevitable by trying to use that confused cheese against us. But once Chansey can land 2 hits, only one more Elite Four member remains, Dragon Trainer Drasna. Dragale may be an absolute beast on the special defense side, but can't survive super effective Earthquakes. Druddigon hits hard with a few revenges, but Soft Boiled comes to the rescue and Chansey can KO it in 2 double edges. For Altaria, I get back-to-back flinches using Rock Slide thanks to our Serene Grace ability kicking in again. Her ace Noivern takes 3 hits, but Chansey is just too powerful at this point. One more battle left. Champion Diantha. Her lead Hawlucha is real scary, especially since it outspeeds and uses its first turn to boost its attack. A single Flying Press, even with Eviolite, takes Chansey all the way down to just 37 health. Thankfully, she sends out her Goodra next, who can barely touch our egg, especially since it's trying its darndest to hit Focus Blast. I heal up and take it out with 2 double edges. Diantha's other main threat is Tyrantrum, with its insane attack and access to 150 base power Head Smash. Thankfully, dinosaurs weren't known for having big brains, and it commits to Head Smash, taking recoil damage equal to nearly 80% of its health. A single Earthquake from Chansey is all that's needed. Aurorus is pretty stally with its screens and full restores, but we eventually chip it down with a combination of Rock Slide and Earthquake. But this Gourgeist is the queen staller of this challenge. With Diantha's use of full restores, Gourgeist's high defense and immunity to normal type attacks, I get to the point where neither Pokemon can damage each other, and I have to waste all of my PP to try to struggle this win out. After 16 turns of this, we finally go pumpkin smashing. But alas, I'm not able to do enough damage to her Mega Gardevoir using Struggle, and eventually succumb to the recoil and Moon Blasts. But I have one final ace up my sleeve. I saved a PowerPoint up for a rainy day, so I used that on Rock Slide to hopefully get to the Gardevoir with a few double edges in my pocket. Second try, the beginning of the fight goes pretty much the same. We are able to knock out the Aurorus as the Reflect fades as well. We keep chipping at the Gourgeist until it finally goes down, and we are primed to win, y'all. Mega or not, Gardevoir falls to 2 double edges, and our buff-ass Chansey is in the Hall of Fame. But we have one more battle before the credits roll. The realm celebrates our victory, but Steven Tyler returns. Dream on, bro. We make real quick work of his 3-piece squad. He sees his beautiful Floette once again after 3,000 years. And just like that, we have beat Pokemon X using only a Chansey that can only use physical moves. This one was kind of a weird one. Since I wasn't using some trash Pokemon, I was actually able to use some strengths to my advantage, namely Chansey's insane HP, great special defense, access to healing and Soft Boiled, and the Eviolite boost. We might have been too high a level when we got to the Elite Four, but there wasn't really much else we could do. You get an insane amount of experience in this game, and Chansey's in the fastest level up group. And we didn't even have to use that many Pokecenter heals. We still had more than a dozen that we could use. Soft Boiled broke the game a little, but I don't think you could beat the Elite Four without it. And if you made it to this point in this long freaking video, you are a real one. If you like this, I've done a couple other solo Pokemon challenges like Houndour in Gold, and a whole Let's Play series beating Fire Red without using Pokecenters. Also, we just started a Pokemon Eternal X playthrough on the channel where I can only use the regional rat Pokemon. Comment down below if you have ideas for future challenges. This one was inspired by the comment on screen. Subscribe and join the Bob so you don't miss any Pokemon content or Zelda randomizers either. Like if you dig it, and thank you so much once again for getting to this point of the video and spending your free time with the Psychedelic Seal. Check the description for all the music used in this video. Support these awesome artists. I will see you cuties next time. Bye bye.